All right, so now let's show you how to include projects in the WIP management tool. So first, you should have already configured WIP under Projects Setup Configuration at the bottom of that screen. And you also should have set up already some projects in the project screen. So I'm going to navigate here to the entity level. Most people are putting projects in at the entity level, so you're going to want to include projects in WIP at the entity level as well. So we're going to navigate here to Projects, Setup, Include Projects under WIP Management on the right here. This screen will then pop up like this. Notice there are filters over here to the right. So we've got a status equal to active, location not blank. So on my project setup screen, these parameters are coming into play for this list. So all of my active projects, and if my project has a location filled in, it's going to list it here on the left. Okay. So I can also configure my columns here on this view to add more columns. So here's the other columns you can configure in this view if you needed. So on the left here, we've got the project from the project setup screen, the project list, project name, the WIP schedule project ID, the WIP schedule project name. Okay, so it cuts it off here. So I'm going to use this little bar and drag it over so you can see the name. Okay. So this column, these two columns indicate if I have included this job in WIP schedules or not. Okay, so if it's filled in, I have included it. And then over here, I've got the root project ID or the parent project ID. Okay, that's kind of what the root is. The root project name. And then I've got my location, two columns here on the right. So I'm going to go through how to include jobs on the WIP schedule using the options up here and what they mean. So let's say I want to include, let me scroll down a bit here. Let's say I want to include this job here in the WIP schedules because it's blank right here. So you see it's not included here. So if I want it to be its own line on the WIP schedules, I need to do this top option here where it says include on its own line. So I'm going to click that and it's going to fill in these two columns right here. Okay, it brought me back up to the top. I'm going to scroll down and you can see that is filled in. Okay, obviously you can use the filters up here and I'm going to shrink my list down. Okay. So now let's say I've got a situation where I have some sub projects. So I have child projects or sub projects that I want to combine into one project. So right now, these are included, this phase 1 and phase 2, these are included into the parent job. So I'm going to hit display hierarchy over here. And it's going to list that I've got the parent and the sub in a hierarchical manner. So I've got the parent and the children here. So these two technically are included in the parent project or the root project on the WIP schedule. So it combines the costs and the billings into one line on the WIP schedule, for example. So let's say, though, I then want to have them listed separately instead. Okay, so I have to exclude them first. Okay, so notice they're gone over here. And now I want to include them on their own lines. So I can do include on own line. And you can see now they're all separately going to be listed with their own line. The third option here, include as part of other project, that is if I've got a situation where I've got 3 tiers or more, and I want to include this into this project at the second level, okay? So include as part of other project right here is what I'm going to select. And then I'm going to pick that I want to include this 1, 2, 3, 4 into this higher level project here. So I'm going to hit include. All right, I'm going to exclude all of these again. And now let's say I want to include all of these into the parent level here, or root project. So the second option here is then going to combine these two into this top parent level. So you can see it here. That is how that is treated. Okay. Okay, so now those projects or jobs are going to be included in the WIP schedule under WIP management on the All tab.